Now let's start with multi-language localization and of course, conditional branching. So we got the option with Microsoft Forms to have the same form translated into different languages, which of course can be a complete mandatory requirement for your use case. And to do that, well, it's very easy to configure. Here in the three dots. You will have all this information. You go to here, multilingual, and basically you can configure here adding any language that you want. For whatever language, you will hit add, select the different languages from the list, and what you will see is that you can translate all the answers, all the questions, and the options, if you have option based questions, for example, into your particular language of choice. Now, when you have a form as a user, you will be able to select the language here. But what is more interesting is that when you send the email link, sorry, the link with the link in email or Teams, whatever, it's already in the selected language. So what you can do is here in any forms URL, add the following parameter: ampersand to add a new parameter. Where it didn't went. Let me just refresh. I don't know what I did. Okay, so we put here ampersand and hit lang, and then the code of the language, like this. So ampersand for the new parameter, lang of language equals, in this case, SS for Spanish. And if we do that, you see that it's already in Spanish. So it's as if the user would have selected the language here. That's pretty well resolved for Microsoft. But then when it comes to branching, I don't really like how this works. Well, same as if you've used Google Forms or other technologies, you can here for any question change or add branching, which means that when the user responds to this question, where do you want to go? And at the form, other questions or other sections, you can have different sections in a form to separate in different steps. So first step, I answer this question. Second step, I answer these other questions, etc. And it can, section especially, make a lot of sense, specifically when we have, for example, option-based questions where you can have different branches per each of the questions that you respond, if each of the options. So here, option 1, option 2, we could have different selections here of where do I go when the user responds this particular option. And here it makes a lot of sense to redirect to a different section. For example, if you you don't have an account, go to create an account. Well, this won't be in a form, but you get the idea. Now, well, this is great for general purposes when we do have to apply some business logic. For example, if the user selects this option, present with some particular data, ask for certain information, apply some validation rules, do some automatic calculations, send an alert during the course of the form, you cannot do that, nor with any other forms technology. For that, you need another engine, another technology, which would be a dialogue. A dialogue would be a guided user experience where, yes, you are asking for some answers in a questionnaire fashion, but during the dialogue, during the course of the user answering the dialogue, you are implementing some business logic, presenting different information, performing calculations, creating data in a data source, whatever it is, during the course of the user filling the information, not after. Because now with forms, what we only can do is after the user submits a response, then act with that data using Power Automate, which is great, but doesn't cover real enterprise grade scenarios. Now let's